Hello everyone, in this episode I'm taking you to experience Xi'an's famous light and dancing show, The Song of Everlasting Sorrow, as well as the city's most legendary underground wonder, the Terracotta Warriors of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. These are two must-see attractions that almost every traveler to Xi'an simply can't miss.
Good morning, guys. China Uncle Mikey. It's the third day in Xi'an. Today I'm going to see the Terracotta Warriors. It's a big place, a lot of tourists. The gate ticket is kind of like expensive, 120, and a lot of tour guide in front of the scenic spots and trying to sell you a personal guide. I didn't book that. If you're coming to Xi'an, it's the must-see here. So yeah, let's go. So this is the entrance of the Terracotta Warriors. It's already queuing up. It is now 8:30 or something. I bought a ticket for 8:30. I think we have to wait a little bit. And so as suggested, you have to come here as early as you can. Otherwise, after maybe one hour later in 9 or 10, if you're coming here, it's gonna be super overcrowded. Bought this e-tour guide, totally 130, 30 RMB for the guide and 100 for the deposit. Kind of like a worthy than you hire a human tour guide and following you everywhere and trying to explain everything. I mean, it's good, but I don't really want somebody to follow me. I just want to explore this place by myself. Well, here's another entrance. Maybe this is the first one. Yes, I think it is. You see the long human flow, right? People after people.
Over 2,000 years ago, Emperor Qin Shi Huang unified China and founded the first centralized empire in its history. To ensure his power in the afterlife, he ordered the construction of a vast underground mausoleum. The Terracotta Army was built as a part of it, symbolizing an eternal guard to protect him forever. Each warrior is life-sized and uniquely crafted. Their facial expressions, hairstyles, and armor are all different. No two statues are exactly the same. Archaeologists estimate that more than 8,000 figures were created, making it the largest underground sculpture army in the world. The Terracotta Warriors not only reflect the might of Qin's army, but also the incredible artistry and the craftsmanship of ancient China. Today, they are celebrated as the new eighth wonder of the world, offering us a real glimpse into the ancient civilization over 2 millennia ago.
Well, just to finish the first one, the first part of Terracotta Warriors. It's the army for the Chinese first emperor Qin Shi Huang, right? The first emperor, underworld army actually. Those Terracotta Warriors are pretty high, like 180 or something. So I don't know if they are selected, the warriors, Yeah, anyway, I'm going to the second part. So this is the second pit. I mean, relatively compared to the first pit, this one is relatively smaller. You see the robotic machine arm over there. I think they are still digging. You don't see a lot of Terracotta Warriors armies here. I think it is still under the earth, because this pit here must be the place that they are still digging, right? I think if you still want to dig out all these Terracotta Warriors, it takes a little bit of effort. I think it will take another 100 years to put them together or something. I mean, a lot of the segments are still under the earth, and it's very difficult to distinguish which one is which. So if you want to put them together, I think you have to stay here for your whole life and put one Terracotta Warrior together.
Speaking of Terracotta Warriors, they always remind me of a Hong Kong movie from the 90s about them. In the film, the Terracotta soldiers were actually warriors from 2,000 years ago who had taken an elixir of immortality. Qin Shi Huang sacrificed countless young men and women in his quest to create this potion, but only one warrior survived, sealed within a terracotta figure, and lately awakened to experience all sorts of adventures in the modern known world. I feel like creative stories like that have become very rare nowadays.
So these are the pictures taken when the warriors first being excavated. It's still colorful in the pictures, or maybe afterwards, because the warriors that we saw are not colorful now. When they just be found, you see the color on their arms. There are totally 3 pits and plus one which is on the mountain. I'm going there because you have to take the commute bus to go there. Take about like 10 minutes to go there. I don't know how to get there yet. The Terracotta Warriors are basically the army of the emperor to protect his tomb, basically preserve his power even when the emperor is died. So this is the main idea.
Today, by coming here, we are witnessing firsthand the legacy of China's first emperor who unified the land, yet also one of history's most infamous tyrants. For the sake of his own power, he enslaved the countless lives that existed on this soil more than 2,000 years ago. He was nearly obsessed with the pursuit of immortality, believing that one day he would rise again. Much like the pharaohs of Egypt who created mummies as part of their worship of death, the Chinese emperor also believed in reincarnation. These underground armies were meant to be his capital, his strength to continue conquering the world after his return.
A gigantic terracotta warrior statue in front of the commercial street outside of the terracotta warrior scenic spot. It's a huge one.
Compared to many tourist attractions in China, the commercial streets around the Terracotta Warriors seem to have very few customers. Even though this site attracts huge number of visitors every day, people don't really seem willing to spend money here, perhaps because the ticket price is already quite expensive.
Okay, so this is the free shuttle bus to Xi'an. Well, they're still queuing up. I mean, this might be something pretty tough to. I don't really want to waiting here. Probably take the taxi or something. See what I mean? The good thing you have a lot of tourists. You don't really have to think about where you could go. Just follow the human flow. So now I'm just following everyone. Wow, it's really hot, like approximately 35 degrees under the sun. It's like 40.
This is said to be the actual site of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum, but honestly, there isn't much to see here. First, I made the mistake of joining a guided tour. It wasn't expensive, about 20 RMB, but they also took a 100 RMB deposit. And that's where the problem started, because they never told us the exact place or time to get the deposit back. So I was basically forced to stick with the group, which meant I couldn't to explore freely. The biggest issue was that the guide's explanation were pretty boring, mostly bragging about how powerful and advanced the Qin dynasty was. The real highlight here is the bronze chariots and the horses. Those artifacts are truly exquisite and worth taking the time to appreciate. In the end, the guide led us to a jade shop. Many of the pieces were extremely expensive, and unless you really know about jade, I'd recommend not buying anything.
Just to make a conclusion, for Terracotta Warrior, the main scenic area, which was the pit 1, 2, 3, took me about like 2 hours to see the 3 pits. The most interesting one is pit 1. The gate ticket including Xi'an. Xi'an is the main tomb of Qin Shi Huang, Emperor Qin. One for Xi'an, it's better to just buy the shuttle bus inside the Xi'an scenic spot. The shuttle bus ticket costs you 15 RMB, which is like $2. the tomb of Emperor Qin is under the mountain. So the mountain is like a pyramid, look like a shape. And the tour guides sometimes talk too much. The guy who discovered these Terracotta Warriors, stealing the books. The book is really expensive, 300 RMB. I don't think you should take the bait. If I just do the tour by myself, I can finish it within 1 hour. That guy took me like 2 hours. If you want to go to Xi'an and go straight to see the bronze wagons, the horse wagons, those are national treasure that you really have to see. At least in China, it's called a world wonder. I think you have to see it. In the evening, we are going to see a dancing show, which is called the Changhenge. Ticket is really expensive for 2 person, 800 RMB, 400 for one. See you guys in the evening in the show.
In the evening, we headed out to the suburb to watch a massive light and dancing show. This place is absolutely crazy. If you don't want to stand in 38 degrees heat, squeezing into a sea of people while waiting for the performance to begin, I highly recommend doing what I did. Spend 200 RMB for the VIP service area, where you can relax with tea and even get a massage. Still, just before the show started, the overwhelming crowd felt like a human flood, and it really drained out my energy. The performance itself in Chinese is called Changhenge. It tells a tragic love story of an emperor and his beloved consort during the downfall of the dynasty. A true visual feast.